So I have done 2 Once Upon a Time Twist videos. The first one I did was Once Upon a Time Twist that had my jaw on the floor. And the second one was my least favorite twists. So now we're going a little bit more positive light. We're going with my favorite twists. There is 10 of them. I know, it's crazy. But I have 10 favorite twists. And I tried not to duplicate the ones from the twists with my jaw on the floor because I already kind of went through that being my favorite twists. So this is my favorite twist that didn't make it onto that list. And obviously it wasn't in the least favorite twists video because, well, they're my favorite twists. Yay. They're in no particular order. My opinions. And yeah. Let's get to it. All right. So twist number 1 in favorite twists is Hansel is the candy killer. Yep, from season 7. So if you haven't seen season 7 yet, spoilers! Now, I love a good murder mystery. I really do. And was the candy killer mystery in season 7 a good murder mystery? It could have been better, but it was kind of fun. And now, one of the reasons why it was a lot of fun was because it was something different, which is kind of the theme of season 7 is like, if you give me something different, I'm gonna love it because, oh boy, season 7 was basically just season 1. So I really loved the idea of having like a murder mystery in Once Upon a Time. Like, it was a lot of fun. And yeah, would I have enjoyed it as much if it was in season 1 to 6? Probably not. But, timing is everything. And season 7, a lot of things from season 7 that are different suddenly become one of my favorite things because of that. But yeah, now, basically, in this story, someone is going around killing witches. And while we don't know much about the whole doctor and the blind witch even, like, who were killed, we also have, like, Zelina back in town. And she's connected to the Coven of 8, whom the killer seems to be targeting. Drusilla is targeted. So, like, all of a sudden, we have these characters that we're familiar with. Whether we like them or whether we hate them, whether we love to hate them, they're connected somehow. And we're familiar with them, at least. And so that ups the stakes. Now, granted, neither one of them die. So, did I want stakes? Yes. Could one or both of them have died? Absolutely. They didn't. But we find out that Hansel, aka Jack, Henry's friend, Lucy's pretend dad, is the killer. And also the weird thing is, it kind of made sense. And yet I still didn't see it coming. Like, the Coven of 8 was essentially responsible for his sister's death. Drusilla being the one who actually killed his sister. Now, granted, there were extenuating circumstances, like Gretel was trying to kill her, and it was more self-defense, but, Drusilla did kill his sister. And so it kind of made sense. And then Zelina, in whatever version of Zelina this was, allowed Hansel and Gretel to be tormented by the blind witch and actually kind of lights Hansel on fire. So, yeah, going after her made sense. He was not lacking motive. So it made sense. And it was honestly kind of unpredictable, at least for me. I'm sure there was a lot of people that are like, it was so obvious, but like for me it wasn't, and I enjoyed that. I enjoy when things don't make sense and yet, like, I enjoy when things aren't obvious and yet still make sense. So, Hansel being the candy killer. I enjoyed that. Unpopular opinion, I know, but twist number 2 in favorite twists is Jekyll is the real villain. Yup. Now, Jekyll and Hyde. You know, Jekyll's the good half, Hyde's the bad half. You know? So when Jekyll splits himself from Hyde, it seems pretty obvious. Hyde is the villain, Jekyll's the good guy, all the good things. But the darkness was alive and well in Jekyll, and he was a villain. Now, granted, not for long, since he was killed moments after he was revealed to be a villain. But nonetheless, it was still a fun twist, and I really kind of enjoyed it. I could have probably put it under a twist that had my jaw on the floor, but I didn't. So it's here. It's in my favorite twist. Yay. Twist number 3 in favorite twists. Henry is the next author. Now, when Isaac is no longer the author, because, yeah, a new author needed to be found, and fast, because Regina was dying, everyone needed to go back to Storybrooke, but no one had the power to send them back. Until Henry picks up the quill and it starts glowing, revealing that he is the next author. Oh, I loved it. Because in many ways it made sense for Henry to be the next author, because he's literally, like, tied to all of these characters, like, in some way, shape, or form. And I don't know. I really loved it. I really loved it. It worked in a weird sort of way, and I loved it. I don't know. I really did. I think it gave Henry a little bit more of a purpose, even though him being the author never really came into play. But it was like, you know, we're making him special. Let's do that. So yeah, Henry's the next author is number 3 on this list. Now, in number 4 on favorite twists is Emma breaks the curse with true love's kiss on Henry. Now, this is for season 1. I think for me, even though I came in during season 6, I wasn't fully aware of things that happened in previous seasons. So for me, I just kind of thought, okay, like, the first curse is going to be broken by Snow and David kissing. You know, they were the solid couple. Like, even like when David's like in a coma and she has no idea who he is, like, Snow is still there by his side, and it's like, you know, it's that connection, that true love. That's the key. They're going to be the reason why there's no curse no more. Like, and it's like they're just going to sort of build out this like romance type thing because, well, she's there with him, and it's like it's good to be perfect. And then it didn't happen, and in fact, it was Emma kissing Henry, and I was like, you know what? I love this, because not only was it a fun sort of twist, but it also showed that true love can take many forms. Yes, it can be, you know, a romantic one between 2 or more people. But it could also be a familial love as well. Like, you know, a parent and a child. Siblings, cousins, aunts, uncles, grandparents. Like, you can span the whole gambit of familial love, and you'll probably find some true love in there, unless you have a horrible family, in which case I'm very sorry. But yeah, for the most part, true love can take many forms, and I loved that it was just, you know, the love between a parent and a child, a parent who gave up the child so that he could have a better life. And it's like, true love takes many forms, and I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it so much. It was perfect. It was perfect. Do I think they maybe overdid it several times? Yeah, but it was perfect. I love it. Number 5 on favorite twists is Alice is Wish Hook's daughter and the girl he's looking for. All right, so this is season 7. No, Hook does not have another child. Like, he has one child. He has Hope. And then he has a stepson, Henry. But Wish Realm Hook, season 7 Hook, does have a daughter, and that daughter is Alice from Alice in Wonderland. Do with that information what you will. Anyways, Tilly and Rogers, they had a bond in Hyperion Heights that was kind of sweet. Like, he really kind of looked after her. Like, it was like, aw, I love it. And I loved their dynamic. I loved the connection. And then it's like, oh, she's his daughter. That's perfect. And like, we knew that Rogers, Wish Hook, was like looking for someone. We didn't really know who he was looking for. And then it was like, oh, it turns out he was looking for his daughter, and that he had actually found his daughter and had this connection with his daughter. It was perfect. I loved it. Now, of course, Alice has a mother. We don't talk about her because it very much mirrors the Robin and Zelina mess. Y'all, I just had a thought. These two children who came into the world in the most disturbing circumstances end up in love. Okay, I got off on a side tangent here. Back to my list. Yeah, I mean, it did mirror the worst twists in Once Upon a Time history. You can check that out by clicking in the card to hear my thoughts on that. But the Hook, Alice, Rogers, Tilly relationship, it was really sweet, and I love that their connection transcended the curse. Like, it was perfect. I loved it. I love when they show, true love transcending curses, and that true love being the familial connection. I love that. So I really love that twist, that Alice was Wish Hook's daughter and also the girl that he was looking for. But twist number 6 in favorite twists is Emma's New York boyfriend Walsh is the Wizard of Oz, who Zelina turned into a flying monkey. I had to throw that in there because that was so random. So for me, Walsh was always off. Like, there was always something off about Walsh. I was like, okay, like, he's got to be fairy tale connected somehow. And then he wanted to marry Emma, like, really quickly. And I was like, that's weird. That is really weird. There is something definitely off about this dude. Granted, I kind of thought maybe he was just a regular person living in New York, and I should have known that when it comes to this show, nobody is ever really a random person unless you're Chad from season 7. Never in my wildest dreams would I have predicted that Walsh was actually the Wizard of Oz. And that Zelina turned him into a flying monkey. I can't explain why I love this twist so much, but I do. I can't explain why. It's probably one of the most random twists, but I love it. And I can't explain it. I just love it. I love it. What can I say? It's so random. Twist number 7 in favorite twists is Zelina and Regina are half sisters, and they knew it. Sort of. So basically, Cora had a daughter that she abandoned. Cool. That daughter then grows up to be the Wicked Witch of the West. Yes, we like that. Evil Queen, Wicked Witch, they're sisters. That's fun. I enjoyed that. And I thought about just leaving the twist there because that was a fun twist, and I really loved the whole "you're green, you're rude" type dynamic. I love that. But I decided to add the "and they knew it" part to it because that was where the real twist was, honestly, for me. Because in season 5, they actually figured out that they were sisters when Cora brings Zelina in to save Regina, and then Cora just like wipes their memories so that they don't remember. And I loved it. I loved that they figured it out as kids. I loved it. And yes, they had a lot of reasons to hate each other. They definitely did. But the flashbacks of them being kids who were friends and then discovered that they were sisters, and then I loved it. And all of that allowed for the door to open for them to reconnect, and I loved it. And so whether they hated each other or they loved each other, them being sisters was a fun dynamic to watch, and I gotta say, I loved that they knew it when they were kids, and Cora had to go and ruin it again. Twist number 8 in favorite twists is Nimue is the first Dark One. Yepers! Now, watching Merlin essentially beg Nimue to spare Vortigern's life, and Nimue just crushing his heart instead, that was insane. I loved it. But then you watch her change, and then she like breaks Excalibur, creating the Dark One dagger. I was like, y'all, I love this. But like watching the heartbreak in Merlin's eyes when he realizes that the woman he loves is just gone, like she's given into the darkness, she's fully dark and everything, it's heartbreaking. But oh my goodness, did I love that scene so much. Did I love that twist? Absolutely. Yeah, I loved everything about this. Honestly, it was so much fun. And the fact that Merlin was in love with the first Dark One. Yeah. It was perfect. I loved it. Twist number 9 in favorite twists is Peter Pan as Rumpel's dad. Did I love the Neverland arc? Not particularly. I mean, it wasn't my least favorite, but it also wasn't my favorite. So, but just there was always something off about Pan, like altogether. And then it's like, oh yeah, he's evil. That makes sense. Like, he's always sort of giving off an evil vibe, even in the Disney movie, but whatever, we'll go from there. But the reveal that like he was essentially Rumpel's dad, and that like he like banished Rumpel from Neverland because he learned that he couldn't fly anymore because he was no longer a child, because he had a child, and it was like, son, you're gonna have to leave because I want my life to be happy, and you do not make my life happy, so bye. I was like, what? But another reason why I kind of love this twist is because It just made the whole Neverland plot a whole family affair. And it was kind of perfect. I just wish Belle had been able to be a part of it, but I digress. It was a whole family affair. You know, you had Snow and Charming and Emma and Regina and Rumple, and then Hook was also there, and then, you know, you got Pan, Henry's grandpa. No, great-grandpa, because Rumple's a grandpa. And then Neil got roped into it, and it was like the whole family reunion, and it was a crazy family reunion, and I was here for it. I loved it. What can I say? It was really random, and I loved it. So, there's that. But finally we come to twist number 10 in favorite Once Upon a Time twists, and that is Snow casts the curse. Now, this is the season 3B curse. 3B? The Oz arc curse? Yeah. I was like, is it? Yeah. So, essentially, to send everyone back to Storybrooke, defeat Selena. That didn't happen, but it was supposed to. Snow has to crush David's heart, since the curse requires you to sacrifice the thing which you love most, which for Snow is David. Regina couldn't do it because the thing she loved most was chilling in New York with Emma. So, yeah, Snow was like, I gotta do it. I gotta do it. David's like, you gotta do it. You gotta do it. We gotta send everybody back to Storybrooke. We gotta defeat Selena. We gotta do all the things. And the idea that Snow would have to crush the heart of the man she loves is heartbreaking. And then Zelena shows up, and in all her insanity is like, it's all for nothing. Because you won't even remember anything when this curse is cast. Huh? So we're doing this to send everybody back to Storybrooke and get rid of Zelena, and we ain't even going to figure that out. Okay. It was just heartbreaking all around. But then, in a final twist upon the twist, Regina splits Snow's heart in half. And David is revived. The curse is cast. Granted, they still don't remember when they get to Storybrooke, but at least David's still alive. It was just a roller coaster of emotions. I loved being on that roller coaster. Was it really a twist, considering that I knew that David was alive? Here's the thing. It was a twist that didn't necessarily have my jaw on the floor, which is why it was not on this list. But it was a twist that I loved. So, it's on this one. It's not on the jaw drop one. It's on this one for that reason, because, well, I knew David was alive. But, yeah, so that is my 10 favorite Once Upon a Time twists. Like I said, just my opinion. The show had a lot of twists. Some were good, some were bad. I'm really curious to hear what your favorite Once Upon a Time twists are. Let me know all your thoughts in the comments down below.